Hey guys, Austin Featherstone here from the Nashville Miller Strategy Battle Gaming Group, and tonight I'm going to be painting some of the Osgiliath Ruins terrain for the second mission for our Battle Companies campaign that we started last week. And for mission 2, we are going to be trying to invade a fort. So I'll pull up the mission here for y'all and you can check it out. We had a great time last week with our first mission, and everyone had a great time, had a great showing. So I wanted to paint up some of this terrain for our group. So the mission we're going to be playing next on Friday night is called Seize the Outpost. You can see it here. If you've got your Battle Companies book, it's on page 77. But I thought this would be some nice terrain with the ruins. And so I already primed all the terrain black, as you can see here. That way, get in the nice recesses. And what I'm going to be using here tonight is I'm going to start with a base coat. I'm using Citadel paints, but I'm going to start with a base coat of Stylian Drab from some of the research I was doing. And I found some that other people used that I really liked. Then I'm going to do a dry brush of Rakarth Flesh. Then I'm going to paint the wood with the dryad bark, and then I'm going to finish off with a lighter dry brushing of white scar, as you can see here. So if you are in the chat, feel free to drop a comment and chat with me. I'll be painting here and be happy to answer any questions that y'all have got, and come and join us. So I'm starting with Stylian Drab. I'm going to start with this piece of terrain here from the multi-pack. I got 3 of these multi-packs. I'm going to try and get through them slowly but surely, but wanted to at least get a rectangle fort for us to play with this Friday for our group. I'm going to get my wet palette ready. For a wet palette, I used Guerrilla Miniatures Wargaming suggestion, and I just took a Tupperware pan, as you can see here. And what I do with it is I put a paper towel on the bottom of it. I'm still relatively novice painter. This is the first hobby where I've painted something, and I've been painting for about 6 months now. But I took a Tupperware dish, then you take a paper towel and you just probably fold it over 2 times where it makes a square, and you just fit that right in the bottom of the pan of your Tupperware. And you can see that here. I'm just going to pull off this. You can see there I've got a piece of paper towel on the bottom, and I've soaked it with water. That way it keeps your paints wet, and then you can, if you don't get finished, like tonight, we're just going to be part 1 of 2 parts of painting. Tomorrow night we'll finish up this terrain and have it ready for our gaming night on Friday. But once you have that piece of wet paper towel in there, then you just take a piece of your parchment paper and you cut out a square as well. As you can see here, I cut out a piece of parchment paper, and then you just stick that in the bottom, press it down, and it makes you a nice, really nice wet palette. So that way your paints stay wet and fluid; they don't dry out on you while you're painting, and that way you don't get any crusties on your models. So, anyways, I'm just going to put a few drops down with one of my little pipettes here. So that way I can mix my paint and my water so it's not straight paint for the base coating. All right. I've got a Lord of the Rings playlist that I'm going to put on for all those who love listening to the soundtrack like I do. I've got a few um, different soundtracks that I listen to. Lord of the Rings is one of my favorite. When I'm at work, I'll just throw that on and jam to it while I'm working. So my daytime job, I'm a PhD student and study HIV infections. So I always enjoy getting some painting done in the nighttime. Find it relaxing. Right now, I'm just mixing my paint, my water to water it down a little bit. I can get a good amount here for the first piece of terrain I'm going to paint. Probably my favorite song, all of the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit movies, is "The Last Goodbye" by Billy Boyd. I listen to that song a lot. Now I'm just putting the paint on the top part of this wall here. We're going to make these ruins look like Osgiliath, so they're going to be a whiter stone compared to some of the darker grays that you might see. So here I just got the brown on top, just doing a nice base coat for that. It kind of gives it that earthy look to it and gives it some more contrast. And then when we put the other layers on top, it'll give it a little dirtier look for the ruins. Since they were well used, they were there for many years. as not a fortification for Minas Tirith. So I really love this multi-pack. I wish they would do more stuff like this. I like that they're starting to come out with more uh, stuff like the Shire, Hobbit holes, and I think that stuff's great. Let's see here, I got the brown here on the top. I'm kind of leaving avoiding the recesses, even although if you do get the paint in the recesses of the uh, multi-pack, you can just go back over with the wash, which we'll do later. All right, so now we're done with the first coat there. You can see got that nice little earthy tone to it there on the top. This is almost, it's not quite like a super base base coating I'm doing here. It's doing it relatively light, so that way some of the black still comes through. Some more paint. Right now, I'm just putting the paint on this front side. I'm going to go on to the other sides. The nice thing about painting is, from all the years I've actually done, you know, house painting and whatnot, if you mess up or you don't like something, you can always go back. So that's the great thing about painting is you make a mistake, you just go back and redo it. And we're not doing any crystal paint brushing uh, entries here. Just some terrain, make it fun, and you have something that you can take places and say it's your own, and have something to look at where you started and how you've gotten better just over, you know, since I've even started painting over the last 6 months. It's I can see the definite difference in my technique and learning new techniques, which I've had a lot of fun doing. And then just also talking to guys in our Nashville group we're all very friendly and happy to share ideas and thoughts about how we want things painted, or maybe you have a question about something you're not sure. Nice thing of our guys really helpful. I really like coats here because this is, again, not going, you don't want it to be very thick, and you want the black to show through so that way you have the recesses, um, the cracks and stuff that you've got. That way give it the depth to your model. I'm just doing the archways right now, and you can see just how light that is. It's just giving, you can still see the darkness of the recesses up here at the top. Um, and then you can see the black still coming through, which is what you want. wish they would come out with more, just like, I don't know, like if when they come out with this new Rohan at War supplement, if they would come out with some like Rohirrim houses that you could make, which would be great. I hope they do something like that for, people that don't have a whole lot of money and want to get creative and have their own, little Rohirrim set that they can have. I think that would be great for GW to do, and it just make continues to grow the hobby, and we have a great community that we with the Middle Earth group. So people are very sharing, and I love all the different ideas of how people have done different things in the Middle Earth community. All right, so now we've got the front done. You can see just how dark and gritty it looks from the years of use. Got some sticky tack still on my model from when I had primed it. So I'm gonna take that off. All right, so now we did the front section. I'm gonna go around and do the side section right here, and then by the time I get done with that, the front should have dried, and then I can move on to the back. Yeah, when we get done with this will be like a white stone Osgiliath. I've seen others when I was looking online today for ideas for how others have done um, their multi packs for the Osgiliath ruins. Some of them do like a gray, but these are going to be the white ruins, just to get that more of that Osgiliath feel for, even if we need an extra board to throw down, we'd have that extra board to be able to play at our events. Our next event coming up in October is actually called, it's actually going to be my birthday party. We're calling it Austin's 111th birthday party, and it's going to be a story themed event. It's going to be an escalation event. So you'll bring one army, and as the day progresses, your army will escalate. And depending on how each round goes, depending on if there's more good or evil players that win, will depend on the scenarios and the objectives for the following round. So it'll be a lot of fun. Alex Wright of Right Train Studios is making us a Hobbit board for the occasion with some special goodies that I'm looking forward to showing everyone when he gets done with them, and everyone's gonna go home with a goodie bag as is in good Hobbit fashion. If you go back and you reread the Fellowship, it talks about how on your birthday, the person whose birthday it is actually gives out more presents than they receive if they're a good Hobbit. So that's what we're going to do for my event. We've got lots of gifts that we're going to give out for those that can attend and celebrate. And just this will almost be marking the 1 year mark for our group since we started about last October. So it'll be a great time to reminisce um, and see how our community has grown over the last year. Post. Mixing up some more paint right now. Right. All right, so now I got the front side painted here. And now I'm getting the back side painted here. That way I can get that dirt look all over the stonework. And then I'm going to go back and do a heavy dry brush um, with the Rakarth flesh, which is going to give it that, start giving it that nice white stony look that we're going to be going for Osgiliath. Now I'm listening to the Fellowship of the Ring soundtrack, which I felt like is pretty fitting with the Boromir and Osgiliath and him going on top of the tower. Although that was in the Two Towers where Frodo gets attacked by the Ring Wraith on the Fell Beast, and Sam jumps him to stop him from getting attacked and the ring stolen. So, but love the Fellowship of the Ring. One of my favorite movies. I watch it a lot while I'm painting, just for some background music, and one of my favorite movies and favorite trilogies of all time. I actually went back and reread the Fellowship of the Ring earlier this year. Now I'm reading a new book from one of my favorite um, writers, Timothy Zahn, the newest Star Wars Thrawn book. I'm reading right now, which is called Thrawn Treason, which I'm really enjoying because I really liked the director Krennic character from Rogue One, and he's in this book. So I love seeing the play between him and Grand Moff Tarkin and Grand Admiral Thrawn. All right, so now we've got this nice dirty look all over the front of it, just a light base coat of paint. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to let this dry, and I'm going to start on the next piece in the pack, which is this piece right here. Now I'm going to go and dry brush this with the same Stylian drab color that I did for the first one, and give it that really gritty dirt look. All right, so continuing on here, just saying hello to one of my friends who was commenting on. I'm a painter, so just saying, giving a shout out to my friend Deborah Phillips from Texas. You can see here, you can see the contrast here. So we've got the dirty look up here at the top, and then I've got the black, and gonna leave some of these recesses with the black, so that way giving it that depth of stone. Grab some more water. Usually when I'm not, if I wasn't videotaping right now, I'd either be watching. Right now, I'm actually um, rewatching season 3 of Star Wars Rebels because that actually Thrawn Treason takes place during um, between seasons 2 and 3 of Star Wars Rebels. So and going into season 4, so um, I'm enjoying getting to go back and watch these episodes and see how they relate to the show. So, I love how Star Wars is connecting the TV shows with books and the movies, and just reconnecting the universe again, similar to how they did with the Legends books before Lucasfilm and Star Wars was bought by Disney. Just giving it a really light brush all over the front of this black stone here. What? Yeah, yeah. Hello, Furball. My cat Furball. This is the room that she sleeps in, and she's only telling me she wants me to feed her. Usually gets a late. Usually gets a snack. And my aunt Mary passed away recently from stage 4 cancer. Um, Most of my family already had 3 or more animals in their house, so I asked my wife, and she said we could take my aunt's cat with us back. So that was a fun trip going from Texas to Nashville, Tennessee, and taking my cat. Yeah, yeah. You say hello to the camera for a ball. Yeah. She's living her best cat life. She's just eating and sleeping. She's about a little over 15 years old. Um, Last indoor cat that my great aunt had. Yeah, 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 I'm really not being too careful of this because I just want to give it all the stone, just some dirt to it as an undercoat. So I'm just really just kind of lightly splashing it on and making it feel dirty. That's what stone is. It's dirty. All right, so yeah, you can see there we've got some dirtiness Here, I'm gonna let this dry, and then I'm gonna do a heavy dry brush of a lighter white slash gray on top of this, and then I'll start giving it that stone fill with some dirt on top. And I think I'm gonna get this piece done, and I'm going to I'll dry brush the light gray on it for this piece and the other piece I just did. And then once all that's done, we'll probably call it a night for tonight, and then we'll come back tomorrow with part two, and I'll show you what we're going to finish up with. We'll get the grays on there, and then go into a white, and then we're going to put some lichens and moss, since Osgiliath is right on, it's in, has a river going through it. Um, it's in a watery area, so I figure some moss growing uh, on the stone would be pretty cool, and it gives it more of a living feel to it. It's not just dead stone, but there's life to it. Enough to eat for a ball? You happy now? The Bridge of Khazad-dûm. One of my favorite scenes in the Fellowship of the Ring is when the Balrog is and the Moria goblins are chasing them, and they're running through the ruins. That was one of the newest boards that we had done for our Middle Earth group here in Nashville recently, was a Moria board, and it was a lot of fun to play on for our tournament that we had a few weeks ago. So, yeah. Jason Alexander, if you watch this video, uh, Jason also has cats or at his house, and they love getting attention. So he feels the pain. I've got 3 cats now too, so they all love being around Daddy. Yeah, yeah. Actually, I've I knew Furball when she was a kitten. She came to my great grandma's house, and on Christmas Eve when we were opening presents, and one of her favorite cats had just died, and then uh, Furball here and her sister came up to the front door with their mom, and we took them in. And I was just a kid back then, so yeah. You want me to stop? No. Okay. Yeah. Keep on going. All right. So almost done here. Try it with pin on this dirt. Do really light. Animals are wonderful, wonderful creatures to have. When I first came here to Nashville, I didn't have any, um, close family that lived in the Nashville area. So uh, my great aunt, who just passed away recently, she came with my family to visit me a few months after I moved here and brought me two cats. And they're wonderful companions to have before I got married. They're still wonderful companions. They actually come and they're like dogs. They'll greet me at the door when I get home at night. Just a purring over there. Yes, you are. Purring. All right, so now I got the dirt painted on this side. Once it dries, it'll be pretty light. Let this one dry, and I'm gonna do the little stairs. I'm gonna get one complete set done tonight of the three at least, and then that at least will give us one set to play with on Friday night for our game night. One thing it's always fun to do is get together for game nights and uh, get together with your friends that you look forward to after a long week of work and just relax, have fun, and play Middle Earth, which is something that I've really enjoyed doing with models that I've painted of my own, and have a great group of friends here in Nashville that play with me. All right, so now that I've done all of this side and the dirt on it, I'm going to start working on the back side. Make sure I didn't miss any spots. All pretty good to me. I'm just painting the top of this ruin and just being very light, long brush strokes. All right, now let's do under the archway and behind it. All right, so almost done with this piece. Gonna throw some paint on the bottom of it, just so that way it's not manufactured gray. So then prime the black down here, be a little bit more characteristic. All right, and I think that's just about it for the base coat on that one. Now we're going to finish up with the last small piece, which is uh, just a little stairway. You see there? Very dirty, very worn, which is what we want to go for. Let that one dry. All right, so now we're going to get to the stairway right here. So got this one black, base coated black. Now I'm just going to throw a coat of this dirt on the front of it, and then we'll let that guy dry. Plug my computer in before it dies. I want that to happen. My computer's plugged back in. Get back, finish this last little piece. And then once I get done with those two, I'm going to got two little statues here, as you can see here. These are some of the older kings from Middle Earth. Nice little statues for terrain. I'm gonna put some brown on these guys as well. It's a light coat and save them for last since those are, I like to save the best for last. Kind of like the cherry on top. Start on the top and go down from there. See here, I got the dirt all over the front of it there, just to make the stairs look dirty. I'm going to do the back side. All right, so now we got this piece finished. It's got dirt all over it. Got that worn look. I'm going to start on the statues. I'll let that one dry. All right. Dirt on him now compared to how he was when he was started, just straight black. We'll do the other one. Add a little bit more dirt to him. I'm doing the second one now. And just keeping it light. Hello there. I'm just painting this nice little statue right now. Post a hello in the comments. All right, just about got this guy done. Give him that weathered look. All right. So now we've got one weathered statue here, as you can see. It's just a dirty coat to make him look grimy and worn out. Then we're gonna tomorrow we'll continue our painting stream and we'll dry brush this guy gray and put some moss on him, and he'll be ready to play with on Friday. All right, so now what we're going to do, now that we've got three pieces of terrain that we've painted tonight, we've got this piece that's got the dirt all over it. We got the small piece that we just finished. We got the two statues, and then we've got this piece. And what we're going to do now is we're going to paint the wood on this section. So up here, there's a wooden plank. We're just going to paint that right here with a dryad bark color, which is a dark brown. and this will give it a nice dark woody look to it. This is from Citadel Paints, and once we get this, we'll do some highlights with some browns tomorrow. Wash off my paintbrush real quick. We'll have this video be about an hour and a half, about 13 more minutes, and then we'll call it off for the night, and we will pick back up again tomorrow night at about 9 o'clock Central Time, and we'll finish up what we started tonight. And for cleaning my paintbrushes, that way I can continue to use them over and over again so they don't wear out. I found this stuff online from Luke's APS YouTube channel, but this is called brush cleaner. This is what I use for cleaning all my brushes and then let them dry. So that way when I get done with them, they're just about brand new again. So I highly recommend it. This is great stuff and it lasts forever. I've used it for about 6 months and I still have a ton of way to go. So what you do is you just take your paintbrush with the water on it that you just washed and you just kind of stroke it in there. Rub the soap into the brush and then it'll pick up the paint particles and then you can continue to do that until your brush is clean. Um, Thank you for everyone that came in and popped by tonight to join our first painting cast. It's been a lot of fun getting to talk with y'all and catch up. Um, so please join us again tomorrow night if you're available and want to watch what we're going to do as we finish up uh, this ruin system that I worked on tonight. And if you're interested in coming out and hanging out with me on Friday night, we're going to be in Murfreesboro on Friday night. So if you want to carpool and learn about the Lord of the Rings game that we play, we'd love to have you. We meet at Grand Adventures, which is a comic book and gaming store, and we've got some terrain that was made by Alex Wright of Wright Train Studios, and he does some awesome work. So please check him out. He makes all sorts of terrain for all sorts of different games. So we'll have some of that there available for our community to play with. One of my favorite flavors of Mountain Dew is the Code Red. Take a swig after talking for an hour. All right, so now we're going to paint the wood section. And again, we're using dryad bark here for the wood section of these ruins. So I'm going to shake up the paint, make sure it's homogeneous, and we'll make sure it's well mixed. Kind of like a paint that you'd put on your house. You don't want it to have all the water sit at the top. So we'll make sure all the paint is mixed really good. I think what I'm going to do, since There's only 3 wooden sections on this entire part. I'm just going to go ahead and knock out the 3 wood sections on all 3 sections this terrain. That way it's done and over with. All right. So I've got some water on my paintbrush here. I found these paintbrushes on Amazon. It's called by, see if you can see that there. There you go. It's called Meeding or Meeden. Um, Check them out on Amazon. I got about 10 of these brushes for $5. So, and I've been using them for close to a year now. So they've held up great. As long as you keep care of your brushes, they'll take care of you. I'm gonna water down our dryad bark a little bit for when we base coat the wooden plank of these ruins. All right. So now it's got a nice little paint on my brush, and we're going to go and cover this top wooden section right here. I'm just going to do thin coats. The nice thing about paint is you want to do nice thin coats so it doesn't um, lose any of the texture that's in these plastic models. And you can do uh, multiple light coats, and then you'll eventually get that dark color that you're looking for. I do have a tripod on the way to my house. It'll be here on Friday, so soon we'll have a camera above, and then you can also talk to me here and chat and see my face while I'm painting. But I plan to do these, anytime I'm painting and I don't have a whole lot going on home. I'll live stream it so that way y'all can see what I'm working on, and then the week I can do a short review video and show you what I worked on throughout the week and what we knocked out. And let me know what you're painting too. If you're getting into painting, um, or you're a new painter, let me know what you're painting on. Or if you're interested in painting, I find it really relaxing at night to do before I go to bed. And see someone's here with us. Post a comment in the comment section and say hello. Thanks for spending some time with us tonight. Painting the wood section of these ruins right now. As you can see there, you can see the brown starting to come in there at the wood that I'm painting. If I was Bob Ross, I'd say I'm painting a lovely little plank right now. May he rest in peace. I love that afro, and his attitude was just always so uplifting and happy. It's funny, actually, my stepfather's brother, when he was younger, his name's Edwin, when he was younger, he actually looked like Bob Ross, which is really funny. He had a striking resemblance to Bob Ross, so I always laugh at that when I see pictures of him at around Christmas time or with the. Thanks for great to see you, buddy. I'm just paying up some of these ruins for our Battle Company's games on Friday night. Just doing the base coating tonight, and then tomorrow we'll finish them off. I'll be back here tomorrow night at 9 p.m. To do the highlights and all that. Yeah, Bob Ross was awesome. I agree. Just making the did a base coat to make them look dirty. Um, and then we're gonna do the white highlights to make those really nice Osgiliath stone ruins. So I think it'll be pretty cool looking, and I love these multi packs. They're great. Just a great way to set up a quick game and throw down in Middle Earth. First one. Just to see what we did, David. I painted up some of these statues tonight. Just did a base coat of dirt on them. Uh, I got some of these, and then I did one of the staircases. You can see here. Then the piece of one that I'm working on right now, and then I did this piece as well. Just threw some dirt on it, so that way you can see it's got that nice dirty look to it. So when I do the white highlights on it tomorrow, it'll look like it's worn down, like when Boromir was standing on top of the tower in the Two Towers movie. Add a little bit more water, a little bit more paint for to finish up this job. Is there anything you're working on right now, David, painting wise? Once I get done with these ruins, I'll be jumping back on my battle companies and getting those guys painted up. But thought getting some ruins done for our group uh, would be great because I know if those people, I don't think anyone did the second actual mission last week. Maybe a few guys did, but um, thought if I get a few of these multi packs done by Friday, that way you can have the fortress outlines to play on. Then we can throw down some other terrain that I've got. I've had these multi packs since March on Music City last year in December, so I've had them for quite some time. I just haven't painted them. What train board are you working on at the moment? I think with our Battle Companies campaign for Lord of the Rings, it's going to be fun when we all start getting in the close combat with each other. I think there'll be might be a few of us when we start doing missions 3 and 4 that will be in close contact and get some fights in. That's cool. That you're doing a Mordor board. That'd be sweet. You can do one like mine where you've got like rock outcrops and bridges over the lava and stuff like that. Or are you got something else that you're thinking of doing? I just finished the first coat of brown on the wood. I'm gonna add a second coat now just to have that brown pop out more. Again, I'm just doing light coats here because you don't want to get rid of any of the detail and the grain of the wood that you can see here with this model. You can see there I've got the first coat up here, and now you can see on this bottom coat, I've got you can see the browns now coming in more at the top here. Cool, that'll be cool. I like how like even with this multi-pack terrain for Osgiliath Ruins, you could use it for all sorts of other games. Like I could use it for Star Wars Legion, um, like some ruins on Yavin or Endor or something. That's the great thing about doing war games and stuff like that is if you make something, a lot of times you can use it for lots of other games or even like D&D if you play Dungeons and Dragons. Actually, my main character that I played in and Dragons recently with the campaign was a warrior, and I used Aragorn's model from the 300s that I had painted up as my character model. So that was a lot of fun to get to see me be Aragorn in Dungeons and Dragons for a little while. And a lot of my friends that played Dungeons and Dragons are getting ready to all graduate. We're all getting close to graduating from Vanderbilt with our PhD. So we ended our campaign recently and had a lot of fun. Um, our organizer was a great guy and um, made the game a lot of fun. So highly recommend it. It was my first time playing Dungeons and Dragons, but it was a lot of fun. If you have an imagination, I thought it was a great way to get friends together and get imaginative and problem solve. What other tabletop games are you thinking of using it for, David? I should say, what other games do you play? Oh, cool. I didn't realize that you played Age of Sigmar. I know there's at the Game Cave. There's been they just had a um, Age of Sigmar um, league, kind of like what we're doing for battle companies. And they had probably, I don't know, 12, 15 players that did it. So that was a lot of fun. And now everyone's getting into Warcry, which seems like a lot of fun too. So I've enjoyed getting to watch those games. Just about done here with this one. Gonna let the paint dry and then uh, see how it looks tomorrow if I need to add another coat to it later. What kind of what armies do you like playing for Age of Sigmar with the smaller skirmish style? It's hard when you're an adult because you have to, figure out what you want to use your money for because you only have so much money to use, and there's always more wants than we have money wise. So that's always an issue. Oh, nice, Legions of Nagash, sweet. Is that your main warband that you play with? Is the Legions of Nagash? I was watching this game the other night where I was at the Game Cave and they were playing Warcry, and whatever army the guy was playing had birds in it, so that's kind of cool. What are you looking into getting for Warcry? Right now, I'm just pinning underneath the woods. That way, again, it looks more realistic. You don't want your wood on to be brown on top and then be gray on the bottom or black on the bottom. I'm gonna paint the wood brown, and then I'm gonna do a wash on it tomorrow, so that way it'll highlight the creases and give it some depth and darkness for the wood lines. Ooh. He's gonna get the core set to start with. It just came out. I'm super excited for the new stuff that they just announced recently for Lord of the Rings. I'm excited for the new King of the Dead model. I think he looks amazing. Super excited to get him and paint him up, and then Um, I'm also really excited for the new cards that are coming out that'll have all the stats for all the characters and magic abilities. And um, I like what GW's doing with that. And then the made to order stuff is this starting this weekend. Um, cool stuff that they're re-releasing for a limited amount of time. Thinking about getting some of the casualties that they have, and then we can use those on our boards um, for casualties. Like for Pelennor Fields, you'd have a bunch of dead guys on the field from the battle, and then you'd have the dead Mumok and stuff. So just give it some more livelihood, like the board's been lived on. Then also for like our trophies that we do, I think the casualties would be nice as well to have some dead stuff. And I've got some fun ideas to use for our trophies that will go out for our final term of the year with those dead guys. I'll just say this: the wooden spoon guy doesn't always get a wooden spoon. Sometimes, maybe he gets a dead model on the ground. But I liked. I've seen what some of the Canadian guys do, um, and they've had some dead casualty models before on their trophies, and I thought they looked great. So I'm looking forward to experimenting with those and pinning those guys up. The cards will be really handy because then you won't have to like flip through the book. You'll have all your stuff right in front of you, and you won't have to worry about, uh, you know, having to look back. Save some time a little bit for your games if you didn't have something written down. Definitely excited for the cards, and I'm excited for the new Rohan at War supplement that's going to be coming out. Probably, I'd say this winter is when that'll come out. I would imagine, and seeing what all comes out with that. I imagine they'll have some Isengard stuff, um, which I know a lot of people are excited for, so that'll be cool. What are you most excited for with the new supplement, David? You looking forward to getting some Isengard stuff, hopefully? Maybe some Mordor stuff. That would be great if they had a new Saruman model. I think that would be epic. I like the different poses they have that they've come out with some of the characters like Aragorn and Legolas and Gimli. My favorite Gimli model is the new 300s Gimli model. I just love the action pose that he's got going on with that. I think that looks great. I gotta say, if there's one thing I'm excited for, I'm hoping that with the new Rohan at War book, they will flesh out some of the Yorlings and maybe bring out a new Theodred model and kind of maybe update some of the profiles. That would be cool. And as many other players have said, maybe get some new named uh, Isengard heroes that are armored, since it doesn't seem like many of them are armored. Yeah, the Dunlendings, that'd be great. That'd be great since I don't know of anyone in our group that plays Dunlendings, and I think that would be great to flesh them out some more. I like what they've done with um, oh shoot, the guys that are on the boats in the Return of the King. I think I like how they've brought in new models for those guys, similar to the Haradrim, where you've got Raza. I'm super excited to paint Raza up for my Serpent Horde army. So I'm pretty much done with Moria. I just got a few more things to do them that I'd like to do, and then I'm gonna start on the Legendary Legion for the Army of the South. Yeah, the Corsairs. That's it. That's it. I couldn't think of their name. I like all the stuff that they've done with the Corsairs, with the supplements that have come out recently. I just put one base coat on the bottom of the wood here. You can see here how it's brown, but I'm going to put a second coat here on the bottom just that way. Really gives it that woody look. And then I'm going to call tonight. We'll have gone on for about 2 hours. And so call tonight after I get done with this piece. And we'll come back tomorrow and finish up these pieces. Appreciate you coming out and talking tonight, David. It's good talking to you. Besides, on Friday nights, I'm hoping that we can do these paint and discussion nights more often now. As I said earlier in the video, I just ordered a tripod for our group for videotaping and reporting. So I'll have a video here where you can see me face, and I'll have a video over here above my paint table where you'll get to actually see better as to what I'm painting. So that'll be cool. I know others in our group, like Kurt. Kurt's got a great setup, so I'm gonna try and talk to him and get some ideas from him as to what he does, since I'm new to streaming on YouTube. But yeah, David, if you have a free day or night this week besides Friday and want to get a game in, let me know, bud. Happy to get another game in with you besides on Friday night. I know I'm going to go down to John's house in Alabama on Saturday. Um, so I'll have, my wife will be here working on stuff. But um, if you want to come down to Alabama sometime, buddy, let me know. John's got a great place to play, and and hopefully we'll get some guys down there and maybe have like a small event at some point. It was great to see all the people we had from Alabama at our last event. I think we had John, his son, and then John's son's two friends, the Marsh brothers, were there, and so that was 4 guys from Alabama, which was great. Great to see that community grow. Oh, no problem, buddy. We'll go down. We'll be going down there again um, whenever John wants us to. Whenever he's got some free time. So it probably won't be too long until we go down again and get a game down there. It's not too bad. He lives about like you said, it's about an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. Um, when are you and Lee going to get together, David? Y'all going to you going to West Tennessee to play him? Cool. That'll be good. Yeah, Lee's a great guy. It was nice to get to meet him when we had that game that y'all played. Actually, our first battle rep that we recorded between y'all two was a lot of fun. I think that was you. That might have actually been Christian. But anyways, he was great to get to meet a few weeks ago when he came up to the game cave or not game cave, but Grand Adventures for the first time. Um, so it was great to meet him and great to see him at the tournament. I didn't get to talk to him a whole lot because I didn't play him. Um, but yeah, it's great. He's a great guy. Hope y'all have a great time. Are y'all gonna? What are y'all thinking of playing? Are y'all gonna do battle companies or get a points match in, or what are y'all thinking? I was gonna wash my. Oh, sweet, 800 points. That'd be nice. And get some practice for. Or maybe y'all could even do like an escalation style to get ready for October for my birthday. Tell you what, buddy, that event's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to that October event. Alex has got some great stuff that he's sending us. All right, so I am finished base coating everything for tonight, and I'll show you how the wood ended up turning out. So you can see here now, I've got two light coats on the wood. You can see all the detail still in the wood with the cracks and everything. Um, so tomorrow, once this dries, I'll do a wash on it, and then I'm going to do some dry brushing of grays and whites on the stone to give it that Osgiliath feel. So it should be a great time. And I'll post a reminder on our Facebook group. That's Nashville MESBG Fellowship for when you can catch us tomorrow night. And I hope you can join us then. But have a great night, David. Thanks for coming and chatting with us. And I'll talk to you soon, buddy. Have a good night, and I will see y'all tomorrow. Bye.